Hi everyone. Tonight we're going to finish painting this portrait. He is almost finished, but I need to do some highlights in his hair and some detail works in his face, and I decided to do that on camera and have that be my first video. I'm gonna bring you closer so you can see what I'm doing. It may be strange to start a channel off with almost finished painting. However, I felt that I should show what my work could end up looking like, or what the finished product can look like before we embark on the long journey that is my painting process, which we will start that in the next coming videos. But for now, I wanted to finish working on him. I've been working on him for a while, and he's finally near completion. So hopefully you find that relaxing and you enjoy it. So sit back and relax and enjoy that. Again, I'm going to bring you closer so you can see. Okay, so we're painting in oils. I'm going to get gloves on. There you go. And here is my palette. It is a mixture of oranges and browns. Again, it's oils. And that's the liquid. Okay, so as you can see, I already started because all of my progress during this time, I think my easel was loose, and every time I put my hand here, you could hear it knocking. It was very annoying. So we're gonna start this again. Okay, so right now I'm using this brush. I'm using a combination of these two colors and white with liquid for flow and a bit of transparency, and it's gonna dry fast. And I'm making little squiggly C-shaped lines, kind of bringing out those hair highlights. And yeah, that's what we're doing. It looks crazy right now, but we're gonna trust the process and hope that it looks okay in the end. But yeah, I was telling you in the now deleted footage that I was telling you about the painting essentially, and it is a painting of Samuel Jackson as Jules Winfield from Pulp Fiction, which is my favorite movie. He is one of my favorite actors, and I wanted to paint him. He's a part of a bigger series that I've been working on for quite some time that I started a while ago so that I can sort of find my style, and since then I have definitely really found my style. I was pretty obsessed with finding my style. I think a lot of beginner artists are. I will talk about the series and how I came up with it and all that in a future video. But this painting is it's the third of a monotone orange painting. The first one, it's actually hanging up on the wall. You saw a sliver of it in the beginning of the video. It's a painting of my husband. The second is a painting of Muhammad Ali, and that's in a gallery currently. And this is the third. And I usually paint in threes. I usually do triptychs, so this is the third. So a lot of the portraits that I do, and I mainly paint portraits, are based on pop culture, and a lot of them are inspired by movies and television. I'm a big cinephile, so a lot of my artwork reflects that. I guess it's just you paint what you like, and that's what I like. This looks really crazy right now, but we have to. He has a Jerry curl, so it needs to be juicy. So I need to juice it up. It was looking a little dry before, so the highlights add to the juice effect. Yeah, I'm doing two different tones, one a little redder, and one more orange, and then I'm gonna come back and add more of a white. The name of this painting is Tangerine. All the paintings have a name that's based on like the color or the hue that they're in. And this one's more like a citrusy orange. And I'm doing different hues for more just all around definition. I'm hoping that it comes out right. It's like that. I think it's on TikTok. Like, please don't be ugly. Please don't be ugly. Like that. But that's the good thing about, working in oils. I can just wipe this off. It'll still be wet if I don't like it and start over. Trying to decide where I still want to have those darks peek through. Not just completely, cover those. But I don't want it to look just like a hole, so I'll add some of the darker shade right there over it, so you can still see the darkness, but there's still hair there. Like a hint of hair. I usually paint from right to left because I'm left-handed. And I typically rest my hand on the panel. I don't usually like to use a mouth stick. It feels awkward for me. That stick that if you see painters and their hand kind of like drapes over it. If I have to, I will, but majority of the time I try to avoid that. And I like just placing my hand down and just painting like that. So I know a lot of lefties know what I mean. We tend to smudge a lot. Like writing on a chalkboard is tricky. So because you'll smudge everything that you're writing. When I wrote these words on the back, the background is an acrylic. I usually do acrylic backgrounds because I can get it over with faster and I can start the painting of the figure. And you can do oils on top of acrylics, but never the other way around. So when I was doing this, I did it with paint marker and I wrote that way instead of writing this way because I didn't want to smudge. I wanted to do this kind of Bob Ross style, but I knew that I would be doing detail work and that it would just be hard to see from far away. And so I think it would have been, well, I figured it would be more beneficial to you know, show you closer, see what I'm doing. I find that sometimes when I'm watching other painting videos in the Bob Ross style and they're doing ASMR, that I want to just like zoom in because I want to see what they're doing. But you guys can let me know if you'd rather the camera be back and you can see me actually painting. But I figured this would be better. But y'all let me know. I could be wrong. Okay, so this is a few days later. After I painted what you just saw, the next day I was staring at the painting, you know, as artists do, and I realized that the curl pattern was too small. I think the brush that I used was too small, and it made his curls look really tight. And I think that in the movie they're a little bit bigger, a little more juicier. It just didn't look right to me. So I essentially did the same thing I did with a smaller brush previously, just with these two brushes, just bigger. And essentially just went over and did the same thing. And so yeah, that's what happened in between the last time and now. And now we're going to start with his face. Okay, so essentially I'm going to be defining some areas, cleaning up some areas, putting more shadows in some places and more highlights in others. So yeah, that's the goal right now. Bringing it to more detail. I've been staring at this for a while, and I've gone from this looks terrible to this looks pretty good, and I'm currently of the mind frame that it looks pretty good. So that might dictate what all I do, but we'll see. I guess we should talk about why half his face is like a skull, and that is pretty much just a part of my style. There's a multitude of reasons of why I incorporate skull features in my paintings. And like I said, I think I said before, I do want to sort of talk about my style and how I got there and what all encompasses my style and why I paint what I paint. and why I've been painting these portraits and whatnot. And like I said, I will do in a future video. But no, I'm not painting zombies or whatever. I know a lot of people attribute it to death, and I understand that because skeletons and skulls are pretty much, you know, for us synonymous with death. But for me, it's kind of like a symbol of like humanness and life. My background is in medicine. I wanted to be a doctor. I currently work in women's health right now, on the lab side of things, and I wanted to bring my science background into my artwork, and because I paint portraits, I figured I would do it through human anatomy, and the most, I guess, recognizable part of human anatomy is the skeleton, the skeletal system. So that's my little way of bringing that part into it, and I also just like the way it looks. I like that it kind of gives a creepy vibe because I like creepy stuff. Alright, I don't know, I just dig it. I originally was just going to do it for a few paintings, but I've kind of gotten like known for it, so I do that. I can paint portraits without the skeletal features, and I sometimes do, but I really just like adding my own little razzle dazzle, and that's part of doing that is by adding this part. I feel like I'm not explaining it that well, but like I said, I will try to explain it in another video. I want to make this more like, I feel like it's too round. I want to make it more jagged, so a lot of these colors in this like warmer family of colors are very transparent. So painting on top of things that are already here is kind of challenging. Burnt umber is pretty transparent. essentially my painting process is literally painting the same thing over and over again and making little tweaks until I like it. Yeah. Because I start off with a grisaille, just a underpainting in gray tone. And I used to not worry that much about trying to get it as precise as possible because it's an underpainting, right? So I shouldn't worry about that, but I find that it makes my life a lot easier once I start in the color layers. I don't have to fix stuff later on. I'm going in really thin layers. It's barely anything. Just like saturating things. Like turning up the saturation a little bit more. Brightening things up or darkening things. And also it's been dried, so some parts are dull and they technically won't look dull after it's been varnished, but some certain places just need to be more refined. Using filbert. I'm not sure what size. It usually says it on here, but it doesn't say. So I think there's more like a shadow here. So I'm gonna darken that up a bit. all of my orange paintings, they have blue eyes, or like a hint of blue, because in the series that these are the bigger series that these are part of, all of the characters of the people, the portraits, their eyes are the complementary color of the rest of the portrait. So the reds, their eyes are green. For blues, their eyes are orange, and for the orange paintings, their eyes should be blue. But especially with recognizable people, it's kind of weird to change their eye color without it completely kind of changing their facial features, unless it's more subtle. So for him and for the Muhammad Ali portrait, I'm just kind of adding like a hint of it, but not a full just blue eye. So like right here, there's a little bit of blue. The picture that I'm working from, it's the scene when he's shooting. It's after he's said his monologue, which is the background of this painting. It's the whole monologue that he does, the Bible verse, and he is, from that picture, his eyes just look black. And there's no hint of anything, so just adding like a hint of color right there. Just for shits and giggles. Very subtle. So, burnt umber and the black, dry matte. So when you put a fresh coat down, it looks so harsh, but when it dries, it's gonna be matte as well. a bunch of shapes that you just put together in order to make a picture. I think that's like one of the first things I've learned or observed when I first started drawing, is that it's just a bunch of shapes that make a whole. Whenever I'm adding details, it's like just trying to add all the stuff that I didn't get or didn't feel was important on the last pass. But now it is important and just more information. It feels like if you put one shape somewhere, just one little shape, it'll completely change how it looks. Probably doesn't, but that's how it feels at this point. All the little folds right here. Trying to navigate through, I guess. have filmed this at different times. This will be a video that's comprised of 3 different filming sessions, I believe. The first was late at night, about 10, 11, 12 at night, I think. The next one was around 8 o'clock at night. And right now it's about 6. And each time comes with its own little sounds that you of course don't know about until you start filming ASMR videos. Right now there's a lot of nature sounds outside. And of course, cars going by. It's very interesting. Because you don't, like I said, realize how much noise everything makes until you're trying to be quiet or search for a quiet time. This took his hair and his face usually wouldn't have taken different times. I probably would have done that all in one day. Usually all this. I am a slow painter, but not that slow. But I just had to find time to film where I wouldn't have to stop because I had to go do something else, or it wasn't too noisy. And it allowed for, his hair to dry and me to work on it. Because I'm using this as a medium, the paint dries pretty fast. It dries within a day, so I can come back. And I did this side of his face. That was last night at around 8, and it's already dry. So that's cool. Also, I live in Texas and it's hot, and that attributes to it. And I don't have the air conditioning on in here because it would be too loud. And this family of colors, like burnt umber and burnt sienna, they dry fast. And a lot of the colors I'm using are mixed in with those two for these warm tones. And yeah, that's also contributing to the fast drying time. Okay, I think I am done. Yeah, I think the painting's pretty much done. I'm just gonna wait for this to dry. Probably add a few other finishing touches to the background and probably some more shading in his hair because I'll probably be staring at it and find something wrong. And thank you for watching, and good night.